Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for allowing me to wave on to your subcommittee. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Many Americans have benefited from technological advances, including high-speed broadband, the internet, mobile phones,
That's right.
which many of us take advantage daily. However, we also know by some accounts, 95% of domestic abuse cases involve technology, and countless others have suffered or perpetrated abuse online. Dr. Kadri, I'm so grateful for your expertise and your experience. In your testimony, you defined digital abuse as people exploiting technology to harm others, specifically involving the use of technology to control, harass, stalk, survey, or threaten someone in a way that invades their privacy or autonomy or harms them emotionally, physically, reputationally, or financially. Can you describe for us how family plans, which you refer to as a snake in the grass, can be a tool of such abuse?
Absolutely. Thank you, Congresswoman, and thank you for your leadership on this bill. One source of common information is just the phone bill or other account records, right, which reveal details about a victim's communications and can also provide clues about their location, such as the area codes that they're calling or call patterns that they're making. Some family plans also allow an abuser to kind of listen to a victim's voicemails and sometimes even see their text messages. And so, these kinds of surveillance, this level of surveillance and the type of surveillance just creates this justified, I think, anxiety as much as anything else. And I think that's what's at stake here.
Well, thank you for your good work. And I'm proud to have introduced the Safe Connection Act. It's a bipartisan bill with the Health Subcommittee Chair, Representative Anna Eshoo, and Republican Representative Mr. Wahlberg, which provides a clear template for survivors to work with their phone carriers to exit from a family or shared account that they share with their abusers. Again, Dr. Kadri, can you explain how the Safe Connection Act will help these survivors?
Certainly. So I think, although a victim could simply abandon their phone, theoretically, and maybe avoid some of the risks that I've talked about during my testimony today, of course, there are many reasons why that might actually do them more harm than good, because phones are so often a lifeline amid abuse. And so even if, then there are the high fees that come associated currently with kind of leaving a family phone plan. And so even if they have the funds to be able to leave, they can still encounter resistance from a phone company that has no legal obligation to honor line separation requests. And so a bill like the Safe Connections Act that would give them the right to leave safely and quickly would be hugely important.
Thank you for that. And I think you may have addressed this question, but I'll just ask it quickly. Survivors of digital abuse with limited resources and income are often unaware that they may qualify for participation in federal programs that provide a discount on phone and broadband services, such as the Lifeline and affordable connectivity programs. But the Safe Connection Act requires the FCC to adopt rules to allow survivors facing financial hardship to enroll in one of these programs as quickly as possible, whether or not they otherwise meet the qualifications of the programs, so they can receive a discount off of service for a short period of time while they're getting back up on their feet. Why, again, Dr. Kadri, is it important to ensure that these abuse survivors are able to maintain consistent communication services after they're allowed to separate from the shared account with their abuser?
Absolutely. Happy to reiterate on this point because it is so important, I think. And it's just that people remain in deeply precarious positions long after they attempt to leave a relationship in one form or another. And so being connected through their phones is just crucial in regaining their independence and in guarding against future abuse. And this, again, was always true. But it feels important to stress that these last 2 years, of course, our reliance on technology increasingly and the way that many of our interactions have been filtered through technology more and more has increased this risk of digital abuse. But it also means it's more important than ever for us to be able to use our devices safely, whether that's for social connections, work, ordering food, testifying before Congress, all of these different ways. It just shows how important it is. And so survivors should be entitled to do that safely.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Dr. Valentin, as well, for your work. And on behalf of the many members of the Bipartisan Task Force to End Sexual Violence, I'm pleased to see the Safe Connections Act come forward today at this hearing. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I yield back.